In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on January 2nd, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Boston Celtics versus Minnesota Timberwolves. There are several NBA games scheduled for Thursday night, and in this article, we will analyze the matchups and provide our predictions for the Celtics versus Timberwolves game. The Boston Celtics delivered a commanding performance on Tuesday night, demolishing the Toronto Raptors 125-71 as heavy -16.5 favorites on their home court. Meanwhile, the Minnesota Timberwolves struggled in their last outing, falling 113-105 to the Oklahoma City Thunder as +6.5 underdogs on the road. The Celtics are keeping a close watch on the statuses of Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis, both of whom are listed as questionable for the game. On the Timberwolves side, Rob Dillingham remains unavailable. Historically, Boston has dominated this matchup, winning 5 of their last 6 games against Minnesota. However, the Timberwolves have been more reliable against the spread, covering in their last 4 meetings with the Celtics. Despite their overall strong record, Boston enters this game on shaky ground, having lost 3 of their last 4 games outright. In contrast, Minnesota appears to be in better form, winning 3 of their last 4 games, with their only loss coming in a closely contested road game against the Thunder on New Year's Eve. The Celtics have struggled to cover the spread recently, failing to do so in 7 of their last 10 games, and with Porzingis potentially sidelined and Brown dealing with injuries, their challenges may persist. When these teams last met in Boston in late November, it was a tightly contested affair. The Celtics narrowly escaped with a 107-105 victory as -8 favorites. Despite their strong overall record, Boston has faced challenges against the spread this season, particularly on the road, where they hold a 6-8 against the spread record. Recent history between these teams suggests competitive matchups, as 3 of their last 10 meetings have gone to overtime and 4 have been decided by 5 points or fewer. Minnesota's defense has consistently performed well against the Celtics, holding them to just 42.5% shooting and 12 three-pointers in their November matchup. Boston's recent inconsistency is also a concern, as they have gone 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games. Although Minnesota has struggled to win outright against Boston, with a 1-4 straight-up record in their last 5 meetings, they have excelled against the spread, going 4-1 in those games. The betting line seems somewhat generous toward the Celtics, especially considering their road status and the uncertain availability of both Brown and Porzingis. Boston's recent form includes 4 losses in their last 6 games, marking their roughest stretch of the season so far. On the other hand, the Minnesota Timberwolves have quietly made progress, winning 3 of their last 4 games. They are likely to approach this matchup with heightened intensity, viewing it as a statement game. A victory over the Celtics, one of the league's elite teams this season, would serve as a significant confidence boost for Minnesota. Their previous encounter in November was decided by a mere 2 points, highlighting the competitiveness between these teams. While the Celtics have dealt with injuries and inconsistency recently, their dominant 54-point win over the Raptors on Tuesday may provide them with a surge of momentum. Conversely, the Timberwolves were gaining traction before their recent loss to the Thunder, and they will be motivated to rebound strongly in this game. Although Boston has the ability to secure a comfortable win even with a short-handed roster, Minnesota's solid form and home court advantage could tilt the scales in their favor. If Brown or Porzingis is unable to play, the Timberwolves may have a legitimate opportunity to secure an outright win. So the Minnesota Timberwolves to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. When these teams clashed in November, they combined for 212 points, falling short of the 222-point total set by oddsmakers. Over their last 5 meetings, these teams have averaged 222 combined points, with 2 of those games requiring overtime. Historically, these matchups have tended to feature strong defensive efforts, resulting in relatively low-scoring games. Boston's offense has been inconsistent, scoring 112 points or fewer in 6 December games, and their hot and cold form suggests they may struggle against Minnesota's staunch defense on the road. Additionally, both teams play at a slower pace, with Boston ranking 17th in possessions per game and Minnesota ranking 24th. The Timberwolves have also been held under 110 points in 16 of their last 18 games, emphasizing their defensive focus. The under has hit in 3 of the last 5 games between these two teams. In their first meeting this season, the total points scored during regulation fell below 220, and 3 of their last 4 matchups have followed this trend. Given the defensive capabilities of both teams and their deliberate pace of play, this game is likely to feature another low-scoring affair. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Indiana Pacers versus Miami Heat. For the 3rd time this season, the Indiana Pacers and Miami Heat are set to face off, continuing their growing rivalry. Unlike their previous meetings, Thursday's game will take place at the Heat's home court, the Cases Center in Miami, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the matchup. The Pacers will enter this contest without Aaron Nesmith and Isaiah Jackson, who remain sidelined due to injuries. On the other hand, the Heat will also be missing a key player in Josh Richardson, whose absence is expected to impact their rotation. Indiana's defensive struggles are a significant concern heading into this game. Over their last 4 contests, 3 opponents managed to surpass the 120-point mark. Additionally, the Pacers' propensity for allowing a high number of free throw attempts will play into Miami's hands, particularly given the fatigue factor associated with the Heat's back-to-back schedule. Compounding these issues, Indiana's offense has been notably less effective on the road, averaging just 113 points per game in such situations. Miami's defense is expected to shine in this matchup, making it difficult for the Pacers to find easy scoring opportunities while limiting second chance points. The Heat, who shot 40% from beyond the arc in their 2 earlier encounters with Indiana, are likely to improve their efficiency even further on their home floor. Playing in familiar surroundings often boosts Miami's shooting rhythm and overall performance. Jimmy Butler has been a critical factor for Miami this season, playing in 21 games and helping the team achieve a solid 12-9 record in those contests. At home, the Heat have been especially formidable, boasting an 11-5 record. They've also been riding a wave of momentum recently, securing victories in 4 of their last 5 games. With Butler back on the court, the Heat gain a reliable third offensive option to exploit the Pacers' lackluster defense, which ranks 24th in efficiency and allows 113.5 points per 100 possessions. Meanwhile, Miami's defense is ranked 10th in the league, permitting just 109 points per 100 possessions. While the Heat are playing on the second night of a back-to-back, their record in such situations, 4-2 straight up and 3-3 against the spread, indicates they can hold their own. Although not a decisive advantage, this is a factor to consider on the fast-paced NBA hardwood. The Pacers may be playing some of their best basketball of the season and have the benefit of extra rest, which could play a pivotal role in their performance. However, Miami's relatively strong health and the return of Jimmy Butler have elevated the team's potential. Tyler Herro's emergence as a highly efficient scorer and potential all-star adds another layer of reliability to the Heat's lineup, making them a more trustworthy pick. Defensively, Indiana remains a liability, and their struggles on the road are evident, with 12 of their 18 losses occurring away from home. The Pacers, still reeling from a narrow loss to the Bucks in their previous game, will be eager to bounce back. Meanwhile, the Heat are riding high after a solid win over the Rockets on Sunday, a team that had been in excellent form. While the two teams appear evenly matched, Miami's home court advantage and extra rest since their last game give them a slight edge. So the Miami Heat to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In recent history, games between these two teams have consistently been high-scoring affairs. Their last 6 matchups have all gone over the total, with both teams scoring at least 110 points in their November meetings. Indiana's strategy will likely involve pushing the pace. They rank 7th in the league in that regard, and looking to capitalize on transition opportunities against a Heat squad playing on consecutive nights. Miami, in turn, will rely on their strong three-point shooting to stretch Indiana's defense and create scoring opportunities in the paint. Additionally, the Heat are expected to make frequent trips to the free throw line, further boosting their scoring output. For these reasons, betting on Thursday's game to go over the total appears to be a sound decision. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Brooklyn Nets versus Milwaukee Bucks. On Thursday night, the Brooklyn Nets will travel to the Pfizer Forum to face off against the Milwaukee Bucks in an intriguing road matchup. This contest comes on the heels of the Nets' New Year's Day action, marking the second game of a back-to-back for the team. Meanwhile, the Bucks are coming into this game with momentum, having secured a victory over the Indiana Pacers in their last outing. At this point in the season, the direction the Brooklyn Nets are heading in seems fairly evident. They appear to be conceding the year in favor of future opportunities. This was made glaringly clear in their recent blowout loss to the Toronto Raptors, where they were defeated 130-113. The Raptors, notably, had been on an 11-game losing streak and were coming off a humiliating 54-point loss in their prior game. In that matchup, D'Angelo Russell made his second debut for the Nets after being required in a trade with the Los Angeles Lakers. Russell contributed 22 points and 8 assists off the bench, but the team's defensive performance was abysmal. Now, the Nets will head to Milwaukee to take on the Bucks, a team they have managed to beat twice in their 3 meetings this season, despite their struggles. Giannis Antetokounmpo's return to the Milwaukee lineup proved to be a significant boost, as the Bucks snapped their 2-game losing streak with a 120-112 win against Indiana. Giannis delivered an impressive performance, tallying 30 points and 5 assists, with 4 other Milwaukee players also scoring in double digits. Interestingly, Damian Lillard was not among the standouts as he endured a rough game, finishing with just 9 points. The Bucks enter this matchup as heavy favorites, yet they have not been as dependable at home as many expected. With a record of just 6-9-1 against the spread at Pfizer Forum, they rank among the league's least reliable home teams for bettors. When these two teams face off, the games are often tightly contested. Although Brooklyn suffered a heavy loss in their previous game, this is a team that still plays with a sense of pride. The Nets have covered the spread in 6 of their last 7 meetings with Milwaukee and boast an impressive 12-6-1 against the spread record in road games this season. Despite being outmatched on paper, the Nets have a history of rising to the occasion against the Bucks, who are capable of dominating but have shown inconsistencies. The line for this game reflects Milwaukee's superiority, but it's worth noting that Brooklyn recently managed to defeat the Bucks outright as a 6-point underdog. The Bucks have struggled to cover the spread when positioned as significant favorites. Over their last 15 games as double-digit underdogs, Milwaukee is just 4-11 against the spread and has lost outright in 3 of their last 5 such games. Brooklyn, on the other hand, has performed well on the road, with 7 of their 12 wins coming away from home. Given Milwaukee's shaky performance in the role of a heavy favorite, the Brooklyn Nets to cover the spread as underdogs is our full-game side pick. Brooklyn enters this game on the second leg of a back-to-back, having played in Detroit on Wednesday night. The Nets are known for their slow pace, which is the slowest in the NBA, contrasting with the Bucks' more middle-of-the-pack tempo. However, Brooklyn's defensive woes are glaring. They rank 29th in the league, allowing opponents to shoot an alarming 48.4%. Compounding their struggles, the Nets recently traded away Dennis Schroeder and ranked 23rd in turnover percentage, an issue that Milwaukee is likely to exploit for easy transition baskets in what could evolve into a higher-paced game. Despite these concerns, the total points line for this game feels low, with the return of Cam Thomas adding offensive firepower for Brooklyn and Milwaukee entering the game healthy and well-rested. A high-scoring affair seems likely. The Nets are expected to keep pace with the Bucks for much of the game by utilizing their strengths in mid-range shooting and 3-point accuracy. Meanwhile, Milwaukee's perimeter defense remains average, as they rank 18th in opponent 3-point percentage. Given these factors, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.